Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and I am here today to show off some new branded Swordsoul and Tri-Brigade cards. Let's just get right into this and show off these cards because these cards, they're pretty sick, right? So we're going to start off with the Swordsoul card. It is Swordsoul of the Crimson Saints. It's a normal spell, and you can only use each effect of this card once per turn. If you control a synchro monster, you can target a card in either player's field or in their graveyard and banish it. And second effect, if your opponent controls any ritual, fusion, synchro, xyz, or link monsters, you can banish a synchro from your grave, add this card from your graveyard to your hand. This is not busted, but it is a really nice support card for Sword. So for a while they've struggled with back row interaction, and these sorts of things. You know, you'd have to set blackout and then flip up blackout to deal with your opponent's spells and traps. But this gives them a really easy way to deal with really problematic floodgates um, that plagued sort of how good they could be in the past. You know, something like maybe a Tikaboo on field. Well, now you can search and out for it in deck. This would have been much more appreciated when Mystic Mine was still around, but this is more than fine. You know, of course, it would have been nice having it be a quick play spell, but honestly, adding it back every turn and getting able to banish a card every single turn, it's still pretty good, regardless of whether or not it can be activated during your opponent's turn. Next card we have here is the branded card. This is the branded of the Sparkling King, and it shows off the new Albaz fusion between Ecclesia and Albaz. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And this card says you can only use one effect of it one per turn and only once that turn. It's quite heavy restrictions here, so you know it's going to be good. Negate the effects of all face-up cards currently in the field until the end of the turn, except one fusion monster you control that mentions Albaz as material. Wow. Is that the branded Omni Negate? I say Omni Negate, obviously it negates your cards as well, but even then, like, that's very strong, especially if you can have like something such as a branded in red set and you don't activate the branded in red beforehand. It means you can flip up this to negate something like maybe a sweeper like Dark Ruler No More or evenly matched, and then still have your branded in red set. That's very, very strong. And then during the end phase, if a fusion monster was sent to your graveyard this turn, you can add this card from the graveyard back to your hand. Um, this card is insane. It's just insane. Everything about this card's really, really strong. Branded doesn't usually leave up a whole bunch of cards that they want to use on-field interaction with. Maybe they leave up a Dragostapelia. But you don't have to use this as the first thing you're sort of using to negate with. You can use your Dragostapelia and then negate the entire board. Um, this is really good. Shockingly good, actually. I'm surprised they actually gave Branded an Omni negate, and I know I'm using Omni negate quite liberally here, but it is very, very good. I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of play in Branded decks, especially with how middling they've been at the moment, especially with evenly matched in the meta. It doesn't feel very good when you're getting evenly matched and everything's getting blown up on your board and there's not really much you can do about it. So this though, this actually helps out the deck a ton, an absolute ton. And the last card we have got here is a new Tri-Brigade spell, and this card is called Tri-Brigade Roar. It is a quick play spell, and you can only activate one copy of this card per turn. If you control a Link monster, uh, pretty generic requirements, even in just normal decks, you can send a Tri-Brigade card from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard to target an effect monster your opponent controls and apply the following effect depending on where you sent the card from, or what type of card you sent, not where it's sent from. If you sent a monster, the targeted monster's attack becomes 0 until the end of the turn. If you sent a spell, negate the targeted monster until the end of the turn. And if you sent a trap, return that monster to their owner's hand. Uh, is this Konami's way of telling us to play Butcherphallus the Third, the new Tri-Brigade monster? I mean, it literally is saying, please, please just send spells and traps. We know that you can't get three or four, however many you need in Grave. So we'll just let you do it. We'll just let you cheat. Come on, just please play it. Um, Honestly though, this is really good. This is again just another really good card for Tri-Brigade. Um, Especially because it can send stuff like Tri-Brigade Oath, I'm pretty sure. And Oath has a graveyard effect where it's a negate in the graveyard. If you control three of one of each of the Tri-Brigades. Um, so yeah, you can like bounce a card and then you get a negate. Uh, that's really good. You might actually, obviously, you want to be searching Revolt most of the time because Revolt lets you go plus 1,000,000 after it activates. But this card isn't bad either. In fact, I would most likely be playing this as well as an Oath, just to search off a Bearbrim if you draw the Revolt or if you want something a bit different on board. Bear in mind, even this monster one isn't that bad. You can set a monster's attack to 0, but most importantly, you're sending a Tri-Brigade from the deck or the extra deck to the graveyard, meaning that you can potentially send a Shurake if everything's getting negated to then get like a Tri-Brigade name that you're missing or something like that. Oh my goodness, these are actually really good cards. Uh, so thoughts on these? The Swordsoul card is sort of mid. It's sort of mid. You might play it, you might not play it. I personally might because banishing a card every single turn and then triggering Cheng Ying on top of that seems pretty strong. This branded card is just insane. There's no way to skirt around the fact that this is an insane card, um, and will definitely soup up branded decks to be a lot better in the current format because they're not amazing right now. Um, but yeah, this is like an amazing card. This is like what you'd see on Reddit, like after the after the person on Reddit got told that's too broken, so they decided to put a little stipulation saying all face-up cards, regardless of the fact branded don't really use it, leave many monsters on the board regardless. This is really good, and even the Tri-Brigade card is also really strong. These three decks are about to get a massive power up come Cyberstorm Access, and I'm all here for it. So let me know what you guys think about these cards in the comments. Overall, if I were to give them a rating, I would go Swordsoul 5 out of 10, maybe a 6. The new branded card, 8, maybe 9, and then this card's 7, maybe 8. These are just really good cards. But I want to hear your thoughts about it. Tell me what you think about these cards in the comments below. And until next time, see you later.